Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's both profoundly personal and universally relevant. The truth about purpose that no one tells you. This isn't going to be your typical motivational spiel about finding your passion or chasing some grand destiny. Instead, we're going to unpack the messy, complex, and sometimes uncomfortable realities of what it means to live with purpose. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer understanding of what purpose really is, why it's not what you've been sold, and how you can start navigating your own path with authenticity and clarity. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's get started. Let's begin by addressing the elephant in the room, the way purpose is often portrayed in our culture. From self-help books to Instagram quotes, we're bombarded with this idea that purpose is a singular, shiny thing you're supposed to discover, like it's a treasure chest buried somewhere out there waiting for you to stumble upon it. You're told to follow your bliss or find your why as if it's a simple, linear process. But here's the truth. Purpose isn't a destination, and it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all formula. For most people, the pursuit of purpose feels more like wandering through a foggy forest than following a neatly paved road. And that's okay. The discomfort, the uncertainty, it's all part of the process. One of the biggest lies we're fed is that purpose is supposed to feel good all the time. You see these stories of people who claim they woke up one day, had an epiphany, and suddenly knew exactly what they were meant to do. Maybe they quit their job, started a nonprofit, or moved to a remote island to live their true calling. And while those stories can be inspiring, they're also misleading. They make it seem like purpose is this constant state of euphoria, where everything clicks into place. But in reality, purpose often comes with struggle, doubt, and even pain. Think about the people who dedicate their lives to causes like fighting poverty or advocating for justice. Their work is meaningful, but it's also exhausting, frustrating, and sometimes heartbreaking. Purpose isn't always about feeling good. It's about doing something that matters even when it's hard. Another misconception is that purpose has to be grand or world-changing. We're conditioned to believe that unless you're solving world hunger, curing diseases, or building a billion-dollar company, your purpose doesn't count. This is nonsense. Purpose doesn't have to be loud or visible to be meaningful. For some people, purpose might mean being a devoted parent, showing up every day to create a safe and loving home for their kids. For others, it could be mastering a craft, like woodworking or writing, and sharing it with a small but appreciative community. The scale of your impact doesn't determine the value of your purpose. What matters is that it resonates with you and aligns with your values. Let's talk about where this pressure to find a big purpose comes from. A lot of it stems from our hyper-connected, comparison-driven world. Social media doesn't help. You scroll through your feed and see people launching startups, traveling the world, or speaking at TED Talks, and it's easy to feel like you're falling behind. You start thinking, why haven't I figured out my purpose yet? Why does everyone else seem to have it together? But here's the thing. What you're seeing is a curated highlight reel, not the full story. Behind those polished posts are often years of trial and error, self-doubt, and pivots. The truth is, most people are still figuring it out just like you. And that's not a flaw, it's a feature of being human. So if purpose isn't a treasure hunt or a constant high, what is it? At its core, purpose is about meaning. It's about finding a sense of direction that gives your life depth and intention. But here's the kicker. Meaning doesn't come from a single source. Purpose is multifaceted. It can come from your relationships, your work, your hobbies, your values, or even the way you choose to face challenges. For example, someone might find purpose in their career as a teacher, shaping young minds, but they might also find it in their weekend hikes, where they feel connected to nature. Purpose isn't one thing. It's a tapestry woven from different threads of your life. This brings us to another uncomfortable truth. Purpose evolves. What feels purposeful to you at 20 might not resonate at 30, 40, or beyond. And that's not a failure, it's growth. Life is dynamic, and so are you. Your values, experiences, and priorities shift over time, and your sense of purpose shifts with them. Think about it. At one point, your purpose might have been to climb the corporate ladder and achieve professional success. But after a decade of grinding, you might realize that what matters more is spending time with your family or pursuing a creative passion. The key is to stay open to change and not cling to a version of purpose that no longer serves you. One of the reasons people struggle with purpose is because they're looking for certainty. They want a clear answer, a definitive "this is it" moment. But life doesn't work that way. Purpose is often discovered through experimentation and reflection, not through a lightning bolt of clarity. It's like trying to solve a puzzle. You have to try different pieces, see what fits, and be willing to rearrange things when they don't. This requires patience and, frankly, a tolerance for ambiguity. You have to be okay with not having all the answers right away, and that's hard, especially in a world that glorifies quick fixes and instant gratification. Let's pause for a moment and address the role of privilege in this conversation. Not everyone has the same access to opportunities that allow them to explore their purpose. If you're working multiple jobs to make ends meet or dealing with systemic barriers, the idea of finding your purpose can feel like a luxury you can't afford. And that's a valid reality. Purpose doesn't always mean chasing a dream career or embarking on a soul-searching journey. Sometimes purpose is found in resilience, showing up every day, supporting your loved ones, or finding small moments of joy and meaning despite the grind. It's not about having perfect circumstances. It's about finding what's possible within the life you're living. Now, let's get practical. How do you actually start uncovering your sense of purpose? One of the most powerful ways is to pay attention to what lights you up, not in a superficial, fleeting way, but in a deeper, more lasting sense. Ask yourself, when do I feel most alive? When do I lose track of time? What am I doing when I feel like I'm making a difference, even in a small way? These questions can help you identify the activities, people, or causes that resonate with you. For some, it might be teaching, creating, or problem-solving. For others, it might be listening, nurturing, or advocating. There's no right or wrong answer. What matters is that it feels true to you. Another approach is to reflect on your values. What matters most to you? Is it connection, creativity, justice, growth, or something else? Your values are like a compass. They can guide you toward a life that feels meaningful. For example, if you value community, your purpose might involve building or contributing to one, whether through volunteering, organizing events, or simply being a reliable friend. If you value learning, your purpose might be tied to mastering new skills or sharing knowledge with others. The key is to align your actions with what you care about, even in small ways. Here's a trap to avoid. Don't let perfectionism derail you. A lot of people get stuck because they think their purpose has to be flawless or fully formed from the start. They're afraid to take a step unless they're 100% sure it's the right one. But purpose isn't about perfection, it's about progress. You don't have to have it all figured out to start moving forward. Take small, imperfect steps. Try new things. Say yes to opportunities that scare you. Each experience, even the ones that don't work out, will teach you something about yourself and what matters to you. Let's talk about failure for a moment because it's a big part of this journey. When you're exploring purpose, you're going to hit roadblocks. You might try something you thought was it, only to realize it's not what you expected. You might face rejection, criticism, or self-doubt, and that's okay. Failure isn't the opposite of purpose, it's a teacher. Every setback is a chance to learn, pivot, and refine your path. The people who live with purpose aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who keep going, even when it's messy. Another truth about purpose is that it's not always about you. This might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. While purpose is deeply personal, it often involves contributing to something bigger than yourself. This could mean serving others, protecting the environment, or creating something that inspires or helps people. When you focus solely on what makes me happy or what fulfills me, you can end up in a loop of navel-gazing that doesn't actually lead to meaning. But when you shift your focus to how you can add value to the world, even in a small way, purpose starts to take shape. This brings us to the concept of legacy. Now, legacy doesn't mean you have to be remembered by millions or have your name on a building. It's about the impact you leave behind, no matter how big or small. What do you want to be remembered for? How do you want to make people feel? These questions can help you clarify what matters to you. For some, it's about raising kind, thoughtful kids. For others, it's about creating art that moves people or solving problems that make life better. Your legacy is the ripple effect of your actions, and it's a powerful lens for thinking about purpose. Let's address the role of community in all this. Purpose doesn't exist in a vacuum. The people around you, your family, friends, mentors, colleagues, play a huge role in shaping and supporting your sense of purpose. They can challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable, but they can also hold you back if they don't understand or support your vision. That's why it's so important to surround yourself with people who lift you up and align with your values. You don't need a huge circle, just a few trusted people who get it. And don't underestimate the power of seeking out mentors or role models who've walked a similar path. Their wisdom can be a game changer. Now let's talk about the dark side of purpose, or at least the way it's weaponized. In our hustle-obsessed culture, Purpose is often tied to productivity. You're told that if you're not constantly grinding toward your calling, you're wasting your potential. This can lead to burnout, guilt, and a sense that you're never doing enough. But purpose isn't about hustling 24/7. It's not about squeezing every ounce of productivity out of your life. Sometimes purpose is found in rest, in play, and simply being. Give yourself permission to slow down and listen to what your heart and body are telling you. You don't have to earn your purpose, it's already within you. Another thing no one tells you is that purpose can be scary. When you start to get clear on what matters to you, it often means making tough choices. You might have to say no to things that are comfortable or familiar. You might have to take risks, like leaving a stable job or having hard conversations with people in your life. This is where courage comes in. Living with purpose isn't about being fearless, it's about being willing to move forward despite the fear. It's about trusting that the discomfort is worth it, because it's leading you toward a life that feels true. Let's talk about the role of curiosity. One of the best ways to uncover purpose is to stay curious. Ask questions, explore new ideas, try things you've never done before. Curiosity keeps you open to possibilities and helps you discover what resonates. It's like following a trail of breadcrumbs. You might not know where it's leading, but each step reveals a little more. For example, maybe you've always been curious about photography. You don't have to quit your job and become a professional photographer, but taking a class or experimenting with it on weekends could spark something meaningful. Curiosity is the antidote to feeling stuck. Another truth is that purpose isn't always glamorous. The movies make it seem like finding your purpose involves epic montages and dramatic breakthroughs, but in reality it's often found in the quiet, ordinary moments. It's in the way you show up for someone who's struggling. It's in the small choices you make to live with integrity. It's in the daily grind of working towards something you care about, even when no one's watching. These moments might not make it onto your Instagram feed, but they're the building blocks of a purposeful life. Let's address the question of what if I never find my purpose? This is a fear a lot of people carry, and it's worth unpacking. First, let's reframe the idea of finding purpose. It's not something you're going to stumble across like a lost wallet. It's something you create bit by bit, through your choices and actions. If you're worried you'll never find it, start by focusing on what's in front of you. What's one thing you can do today that feels meaningful? Maybe it's calling a friend, learning a new skill, or helping someone in your community. These small acts add up, and over time, they form a clearer picture of what matters to you. Another thing to consider is that purpose doesn't have to be permanent. You don't have to lock in one purpose for the rest of your life. In fact, trying to do that can feel suffocating. Instead, think of purpose as a series of seasons. Each season might bring a different focus: career, family, personal growth, service, and that's okay. The goal isn't to nail down one ultimate purpose. It's to live intentionally in each moment, guided by what feels true right now. This mindset takes the pressure off and allows you to evolve without feeling like you're failing. Let's talk about the role of self-awareness. To live with purpose, you need to know yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your passions, your blind spots. This isn't always easy. It requires honesty and a willingness to look at the parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. Journaling, therapy, or even just quiet reflection can help you get clearer on who you are and what you want. Ask yourself, what am I good at? What do I love doing? What do I want to learn? These questions can help you uncover the unique gifts you bring to the world, which are often tied to your purpose. Another truth is that purpose often emerges from pain. This isn't something we like to talk about, but it's real. Some of the most purposeful lives are shaped by hardship, loss, illness, failure, or injustice. These experiences can clarify what matters to you and ignite a desire to make a difference. For example, someone who's lost a loved one to a disease might find purpose in raising awareness or funds for research. Someone who's faced discrimination might dedicate their life to advocating for equality. Pain can be a powerful catalyst for purpose, not because it's pleasant, but because it forces you to confront what's real and urgent. Let's address the myth of the lone wolf purpose. We often think of purpose as this solitary, heroic journey, but that's rarely the case. Purpose is collaborative. It's shaped by the people you meet, the conversations you have, the communities you're part of. Don't be afraid to lean on others as you explore your path. Share your dreams and fears with trusted friends. Seek out people who inspire you. Join groups or organizations that align with your values. Connection is a powerful amplifier of purpose. It reminds you that you're not alone and that your efforts matter. Another thing no one tells you is that purpose requires maintenance. It's not something you figure out once and then coast. Life changes, and so do you. You have to keep checking in with yourself, asking, is this still what matters to me? Am I still on the right path? This doesn't mean you're flaky or indecisive, it means you're growing. Think of purpose like a garden. You have to tend to it, pull out the weeds, and sometimes plant new seeds. Regular reflection, whether through journaling, meditation, or conversations, can help you stay connected to your sense of purpose. Let's talk about the role of action. You can reflect and dream all you want, but purpose comes to life through what you do. It's not enough to know what matters to you. You have to act on it. This doesn't mean you need to make huge, dramatic moves. Small, consistent actions are just as powerful. If you care about the environment, maybe you start by reducing your waste or volunteering for a local cleanup. If you want to help people, maybe you commit to checking in on a neighbor or mentoring someone. Action turns purpose from an idea into reality. Another truth is that purpose can coexist with doubt. You don't have to be 100% certain to move forward. In fact, doubt can be a sign that you're taking your purpose seriously. It means you're asking hard questions and not just coasting on autopilot. The key is to not let doubt paralyze you. Acknowledge it, but don't let it stop you from taking the next step. Over time, as you act and reflect, your confidence will grow. Not because the doubt disappears, but because you learn to trust yourself despite it. Let's address the idea of passion for a moment. We're often told that purpose is about finding your passion, but that word can be misleading. Passion implies intensity, excitement, and constant enthusiasm. But purpose doesn't always feel like that. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, and even mundane. You might not feel passionate about showing up to your job every day, but if it allows you to provide for your family or contribute to a cause you care about, that's purpose. Don't chase a feeling, chase meaning. Another thing to consider is the role of gratitude. It might sound cliché, but gratitude can be a powerful tool for uncovering purpose. When you focus on what you're thankful for, your relationships, your opportunities, even your challenges, it shifts your perspective. You start to see the meaning that's already present in your life. Try this. At the end of each day, write down one thing that felt meaningful, no matter how small. Over time, you'll notice patterns that point you toward your purpose. Let's talk about the long game. Purpose isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to play the long game. You might not see the impact of your actions right away, and that's okay. Trust that the seeds you're planting will grow, even if it takes time. This is especially true if your purpose involves big goals like starting a business or creating systemic change. Break it down into manageable steps and celebrate the small wins along the way. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Another truth is that purpose can be found in the present moment. We often think of purpose as this far-off thing we're working toward, but it's also right here, right now. How you show up today, your kindness, your effort, your integrity matters. Don't wait for some magical future moment to start living with purpose. Ask yourself, what can I do today to make a difference, even in a small way? Maybe it's listening to someone who needs to be heard or taking a step toward a goal. These moments add up to a life of meaning. Let's address the role of faith or spirituality, because for many people it's a big part of this conversation. Whether you're religious, spiritual, or neither, your beliefs about the world can shape your sense of purpose. For some, purpose is tied to serving a higher power or living out their faith. For others, it's about finding meaning in a secular sense, through connection or contribution. There's no right or wrong way to approach this. What matters is that your sense of purpose feels authentic to you. If spirituality is part of your life, lean into it. If not, that's okay too. Another thing no one tells you is that purpose can be exhausting. When you care deeply about something, it takes energy, emotional, mental, and sometimes physical. This is why self-care is so important. You can't pour from an empty cup. Make sure you're taking care of your body, mind, and soul so you can show up fully for the things that matter. This might mean setting boundaries, saying no to things that drain you, or carving out time for rest and joy. Purpose isn't about martyrdom, it's about sustainability. Let's talk about the role of storytelling. Your purpose is part of your story, and the way you tell that story matters. Are you framing your life as a series of failures or as a journey of growth? Are you focusing on what's missing or what's possible? The narrative you create about your life shapes how you see your purpose. Try this. Write down your life story, focusing on the moments that shaped you. What themes emerge? What challenges did you overcome? This exercise can help you see the purpose that's been there all along. Another truth is that purpose is personal, but it's also universal. While your purpose is unique to you, it's also part of the human experience. Everyone, in their own way, is searching for meaning. This can be comforting when you feel alone in your journey. You're not the only one wrestling with these questions, and you don't have to have all the answers. Lean on the wisdom of others, through books, conversations, or even this video. We're all in this together. Let's address the idea of should. A lot of people get stuck because they're chasing a purpose they think they should have, rather than what they actually want. Maybe you feel pressure to follow a certain career path because it's prestigious, or to pursue a cause because it's trendy. But purpose isn't about pleasing others or checking boxes. It's about listening to your own heart. If you're feeling stuck, ask yourself, is this what I truly want, or is it what I think I'm supposed to want? Letting go of should can be incredibly freeing. Another thing to consider is the role of play. Purpose doesn't always have to be serious or heavy. Sometimes it's found in the things that make you laugh, spark your creativity, or bring you joy. Maybe your purpose is tied to making people smile through your art, your humor, or your hospitality. Don't discount the lighthearted parts of your life. They can be just as meaningful as the big stuff. Let's talk about the end game. At the end of your life, what will matter most? Will it be the money you made, the status you achieved, or the impact you had? For most people, it's the latter. Purpose is about living in a way that feels true to you and leaves the world a little better than you found it. It's about knowing that your time here meant something, even if it's just to the people closest to you. Keep this in mind as you navigate your path. It's a powerful reminder to focus on what's real. As we wrap up, let's circle back to the core truth. Purpose is messy, evolving, and deeply personal. It's not a treasure you find or a finish line you cross. It's a way of living, a commitment to showing up with intention and authenticity. You don't have to have it all figured out today or ever. What matters is that you're asking the questions, taking the steps, and staying open to the journey. So give yourself grace, stay curious, and keep moving forward. Your purpose is already within you. It's just waiting for you to live it. Thank you so much for watching. This was a big one, and I hope it gave you some clarity or at least some food for thought. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more videos like this. Let me know in the comments. What's one thing you're doing to live with purpose right now? I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care and keep chasing what matters.